This is a piece that was published in New Orleans by a fellow named L. René Villars. And we don't really know much about L. René Villars, but we do know a little bit about the person that the song is named after. The song is dedicated to a fellow named Edward Marlborough Heath. And he was an interesting character in that he thought the rabbit's foot, or the chicken's foot, was more lucky than the rabbit's foot. And according to the sheet music, he used to carry a chicken's foot in his hand at all times. However, it wasn't just a chicken's foot. It was still attached to a live chicken that he would keep stuffed in his coat sleeve. And the locals called him Chickenfoot Bob. And this is his song from 1900, Chickenfoot Bob. Thank you. Chickenfoot Bob, Chickenfoot Bob. I'm going to take an awkward sip of water now. That is one of the weirder things about doing these live streams, is that normally I can get the sip of water in while people are applauding, but I can't do it right now. But anyway, Chickenfoot Bob, I like how you can kind of hear the regional sound there of New Orleans. It's a little bit more free, more flowing than the kind of almost classical sounding stuff that was coming out of Missouri at the time. Now, I'd like to play another piece by a fellow named Charles L. Johnson. Now, Charles L. Johnson was probably one of the most prolific white composers of ragtime music. This is his piece, Crazy Bone Rag. It's one of his most popular, and it was written in 1913. And one of the interesting things about Charles L. Johnson is I think he kind of started, or at least brought to public attention, these rags that featured more repetitive melodic ideas rather than these flowing through melodies that would carry you through a song. Like, for example, if you look at something by James Scott. have this idea that just kind of moves you through the whole thing. There aren't these various like little tiny repetitive sections of it. And Charles L. Johnson kind of went in the other direction with these repetitive little melodic ideas, as you can hear in Crazy Bone Rag. And we'll talk a little bit about how this affected popular music because, oh boy, it did. So here it is from 1913, Crazy Bone Rag. And the cover is very interesting because it features a candle in front of a very mysterious stone wall getting blown out by a mysterious ghostly wind. So the cover is kind of very spooky. Crazy Bone Rag kind of suggests skeletons, but I can't find anything spooky about the way this song sounds. So if you think you know why this song is spooky, please let me know. Put it in the comments. Do something because I sure would like to know what is so spooky about Crazy Bone Rag. Maybe it's this chord. Oh well. Crazy Bone Rag. Oh, thank you. So, at this point, I like to explain why I call myself a ragtime pianist, because that isn't really the primary type of music that I play. I play something called, it doesn't really have a name. I consider myself just a pianist who happens to play music that was written in the 1920s. Some people call this hot jazz, some people call this trad jazz, but really, the main culprit for this is a song that was written a while ago called Alexander's Ragtime Band. And the problem with Alexander's Ragtime Band, I'm certainly not going to play it for you because it doesn't have a single bit of ragtime in it. It was just a popular song that was written with kind of straight rhythms and everything. And, I can hear myself. Anyway, it was written with these straight rhythms and it didn't have any syncopation in it, but people thought that is what ragtime was. And still to this day, we are confused as to what ragtime necessarily is in relation to pop music and jazz. And I just think that's wonderful because genre is just a fake human construct anyway. So we looked at ragtime as a style with all of those pieces, all the grapes, chicken foot bob, and Crazy Bone Rag. Now let's talk about ragtime as a style. So if you take a pop song like When You Wore a Tulip, this is how it was written and how it was published. It's kind of boring, so you got to add a little bit to it. So you got to kind of add that feel, got to accent the offbeats and stuff like that. It's a feel that you give to stuff, and all these pop songs, they weren't really published with that ragtimey feel in them. It was something that was expected to be added. So let's talk about a song from 1903, which is still performed widely by lots of trad jazz bands. It was most famously recorded by a fellow named Bing Crosby, but it was written by a fellow named Eddie Leonard, who not many people remember. But the song is called Ida, Sweet as Apple Cider. And not only does it feature one of my favorite rhymes, Ida and cider, but it's one of the early examples of a pop tune with a ragtime influence to it. Because, you know, lots of people, even though these instrumental rags sold very well and were well known to a certain extent, singing was expected, and the lyrics were expected with ragtime pieces if you were around in the turn of the century. This concept of classic ragtime that people talk about right now, if you ask somebody who is actually engaging in the culture of the time, they would be very confused by that. As I said, genre is a construct. So remembering that, here we go with Ida, Sweet as Apple Cider. In the regions where the roses always bloom, breathing out upon the air their sweet perfume, lives a little maid I long to call my own. For I know my love for her will never die. When the sun is sinking in that golden west, little robin redbreast gone to greet their nest. Then I go down to the place I love the best. Every evening you can hear me sigh. Ida, sweet as apple cider, sweeter than all I know. Come out in the silvery moonlight, of love will whisper, so soft and low. Seems though can't live without ya. Listen, oh honey, do. Ida lies ya. I loves ya, Ida, deed I do. Sweet as apple cider, sweeter than all I know. Come out in the silvery moonlight, of love will whisper, so soft and low. Seems though can't live without ya. Listen, oh honey, do. Sounds pretty. Ida lies ya. I loves ya, Ida, deed I. Loves ya, Ida, deed I do. Ida, sweet as apple cider. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that's one of my absolute favorites. Apologies to my friend Adam Swanson, who always gets mad that I play the verse straight like that. It's supposed to be played in a tango, as it was originally published, but I like to kind of jazz it up a little bit. I base it off of the Al Bernard recording that was made in the early 20s. So, now, Ida, Sweet as Apple Cider, that's one of those early pop song, famous million-selling pieces. It probably didn't sell a million, but it was very popular in its time.
Okay,
and now I'd like to talk about two vaudeville-era songs, because now we're getting into the vaudeville era. This is the Abba Dabba Honeymoon, which was written in 1914, and Row, 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 which was written in 1912 for the Ziegfeld Follies. Now, the wonderful thing about these two songs is that they were recycled for the 1950s movie 2 Weeks with Love that featured Debbie Reynolds and Carlton Carpenter. And also, my friend Adam Swanson and I recorded a CD together last November, and it's going to be released sometime in the next few months. The title is Take Me to the Land of Jazz, because that's what the album's about. And this is one of the pieces that we recorded together, and something that we've been performing for audiences, for maybe close to 7 years now. So anyway, here it is with me playing piano this time, Abba Dabba Honeymoon and Row, Row, Row. Hydration is very important, even during a pandemic.
A bunch of things wrong here. I don't know what they are, but...
Way down in the conga land lived a happy chimpanzee. She loved a monkey with a long tail. Lordy, how she loved him. Each night she would find him there sitting in the coconut tree. And the monkey gay at the break of day loved to hear her chimpy say, "Dabba dabba 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 dabba," said the monkey to the chimp. "Dabba dabba 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 dabba," said the chimpy to the monk. All night long they'd chatter away, all day long they were happy and gay, singing and swinging in their hunky-tunky way. Dabba 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 means monk I love but you. Dabba dabba dab in monkey talk means chimp I loves you too. Then the big baboon one night in June he married them, and very soon they went upon their abba dabba honeymoon. Johnny Jones, he had a cute little boat, and all the girlies he would take for a float. He had girlies on the shore, sweet little peaches by the score. But Johnny was a Weisenheimer, you know. His steady girl was Flo. And every Sunday afternoon, they'd jump in his boat and they would spoon, and then he'd row, row, row. Right up the river he would row, row, row. A hug he'd give her, then he'd kiss her now and then. She would tell him when. They'd fool around, and then they'd kiss again, and then he'd row, row, row. A little farther he would row, oh how he'd row. And then he'd drop off his oars, take a few more encores, and then he'd row, row, row. Dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba, said the monkey to the chimp. Dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba, said the chimpy to the monkey. All night long they chatter away, all day long they were happy and gay, singing and swinging in their hunky-tonky way. Dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba means monk I love but you. Dabba-dabba-dabba in monkey talk means chimp I loves you too. Then the big baboon one night in June he married them, and very soon they went upon their dabba-dabba honey. Went upon their dabba-dabba honeymoon. Thank you so much. The Abba Dabba Honeymoon, they do that in the movie too, where they try to play it really, really fast at the end there. Whew, man, it is a workout. So now we're going to slow stuff down. So you're kind of starting to hear how ragtime music that started with the kind of infiltrated the sound that was popular music. There was another very distinct style of music that was around since we don't know the beginning. We don't really know where the blues came from, but now we want to talk about that because that also influenced popular music of the 20s. This piece that I want to play, Hesitation Blues, is one that the origin isn't particularly clear where the Hesitation Blues came from. We think that it was a folk song. A lot of people took it and published it under their own names and changed little bits and bobs here and there. But for the most part, we don't really know where the Hesitation Blues came from. I like to play it like Art Gillum, who was known as the Whispering Pianist, who recorded on Columbia, not Whispering Jack Smith, who recorded on Victor. That man was a phony. The real Whispering Pianist was Art Gillum. And this is his version of the Hesitation Blues. And he wrote the lyrics for this while he was on the train going to a vaudeville gig. So here we go with the Hesitation Blues. Going down to the river with my rocking chair. If the blues don't get me, babe, I'll rock away from there. Tell me how long do I gotta wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? Well, that sweet mama so bashful and shy, when she bends her underwear, she plugs the needles. I'll tell me how long do I gotta wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? Well, a doctor's in love with my gal, they say, so I got her eating apples just to keep 'em away. Oh, tell me how long do I gotta wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? Well, you love your neighbor like the good books say, but that don't mean you love her when her husband's away. Oh, tell me how long do I gotta wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? I got home last night, been away for a month. When I looked through the window, I saw a mule in my stall. Well, tell me, how long do I gotta wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? Well, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Got a black-haired mama that the rain can't rust. Oh, tell me, how long do I gotta wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? Going down to the river with cement in my shoes. Gonna jump right in because the hesitation blues, they got me. How long do I have to wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? That's it, or is it? Thank you so much. That was the Dead Man Blues, recorded on a piano roll by Jelly Roll Morton in 1922, recorded by him and his Red Hot Chili Peppers in 1926, and written by him at a time that we don't know. If you asked him, he would probably claim that he was born in 1780 and wrote that song in 1863, because that's the type of guy that Jelly Roll Morton was. Brilliant, but boy, could he make up a yarn. So anyway, you had all these wonderful sounds that were just coming together to form this great tapestry of music, which was the 1920s. And that being said, I'm going to close out my first half here with every single song written in the 1920s ever. You'll understand what I mean by that as soon as you hear this method. So anyway, here we go. Need to take a drink of water though first. Ah, yes, listen to the water drinking silence. you go. Every song ever written in the 1920s. I have no idea what I'm going to play in my second half now. I better go figure that out. See ya.
Domingo, thank you very much for your terrific opening set. Now some quick notes about upcoming Tri-State Jazz concerts. we have something unique and special scheduled on Saturday, May 15th at 2 p.m. The New Orleans Jazz Museum is presenting Bonu Gibson and her New Orleans Jazz All-Stars in a 1-hour web-only performance, live from New Orleans, and it will, of course, focus on traditional New Orleans-style jazz. Bonu is an internationally known band leader and singer. We don't get to hear her live very often. Tri-State members and customers may remember her appearance for us in Haddonfield back in 2015. What's distinctive? The performance is being co-sponsored by 4 jazz societies across the United States. Tri-State is one, the Potomac River Jazz Club in the District of Columbia area, the Queen City Jazz Society in Buffalo, and the Basin Street Regulars of Pismo Beach, California. The concert is free to view, though of course the sponsoring societies will gladly accept donations to defray the performer and production costs. You can go to our website, www.tristatejazz.org, and make a donation there. Drop the wrong page. And then on Sunday, May 16th, Sunday being our usual performance day at 2 p.m., our usual time, we hope to present a live audience concert here at the Wallingford Community Arts Center in Pennsylvania. If the weather cooperates, we can offer a live audience-attended concert on the lawn beside the Duke Gallery. Bring your lawn chairs, bring your blankets, bring a picnic lunch, and listen to Drew Nugent and his Midnight Society as they perform trad jazz and hot jazz numbers from the 20s and 30s. It should be an outstanding show. This will be our first live audience event in 2021, our first live audience event since September 2020. We will have a special admission policy, all seats just $10, whether you're a tri-state member or not. And full-time students with ID or children admitted free. We do have to wait on the weather, so be sure to check the Tri-State Jazz website around noon on Sunday the 16th to confirm the live audience is on. If we must cancel the outdoors because of rain, the show will still go on with a live webcast from inside the gallery, just like today, but also, just like today, without an audience. So let's hope for the sun. Subscribers will receive the usual announcements and reminders about these events closer to the dates in their email. And generally, as always, keep an eye on our website for latest breaking news. I'm going to turn this over to Sandy, who will make announcements about membership.
Thanks, Chris. That's and thank you, Domingo Mancuello, for the incredible first half of the concert. We'll be getting back to you in just a few minutes. Domingo's resting up his fingers, but he's going to be right back with us. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for tuning in. This is Tri-State Jazz Society's monthly concert, and we'd be having you live in the audience if it were safe. As Chris said, we hope maybe we're going to be able to do it with an outdoor audience live next month. But for right now, this is out there for you on the internet. Whether you're joining us from Zoom, from Facebook, or from YouTube. We are out there on all 3 services. If you're having any trouble with one of them, you can try checking out the others. The links for the YouTube and Facebook links are on our website. I wanted to take this opportunity to remind you that when we're doing these concerts on the internet without live audience, there's no admission charges. They're free. And we do ask you to consider making a donation. If you would like to send in at least $10, like as if you would for a live admission, we would very much appreciate that. You go to our website, www.tristatejazz.org, and you'll be able to see a tab at the top. It says donations. Click it, and you can make a donation online using PayPal Or if you prefer, you can get the address to send us in a check. We still take old-fashioned checks. So I thank you in advance for that. Those of you that are not members of Tri-State Jazz Society, I would like to suggest you become a member and help us to spread the live music in the Tri-State Jazz area and now through the internet all across the country, even overseas. So your membership at Tri-State Jazz, basic membership, begins with $20 a person. It's not very expensive. So if you'd like to do that, again, go to our website and check it out. Okay, Domingo, are you ready to rejoin us? Okay, we've got this young man who's roaring to go. What a powerhouse. Welcome him back with your applause. And here he comes, Domingo Mancuello.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, all righty. So let's see here. Ooh. I just want to add on that, remember, when you're donating money to an institution like this, you're not just giving money to me specifically in this broadcast. You're also giving money to help make sure that this organization is able to book many musicians throughout the season. It's not just me, it's about everybody and supporting all the musicians. And really, it's so wonderful to have organizations like this because we play such a niche style of music, and it's very important for us to share it with people because it's no fun just sitting at home playing ragtime. So it's just so wonderful that organizations like this exist as an outlet for us to perform. So please, 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 all musicians right now are hurting because of the coronavirus, because of all the live venues have been shut down. So please, please, be generous. So that being said, let's start us off here. Thank you so much. That was Deed I Do from 1926, and a tune called I'm in the Market from You that was featured in the movie High Society Blues. Not High Society, but High Society Blues from 1930. I'm in the Market for You is kind of underrated. It's one of my favorite tunes ever written. You're going to hear me say that about every single piece that I play now. And it was recorded most famously by Louis Armstrong. Deed I Do was written in 1926 by a fellow named Fred Rose, who had a great career as just a regular old pop songwriter in the 20s, but by the 40s moved to Nashville, or somebody's going to correct me on that. But anyway, he went south and he became quite a prolific country western song writer. So now then, I'm going to focus on another. Well, I'm not going to focus. I have no focus. But right now, I'm going to focus on one of my favorite composers from the 1920s. He was inducted into the National Academy of Popular Music's Songwriters Hall of Fame in about 1984. Again, not many people recognize his name, but they do recognize his music. The man is Macio Pinkard, a great Black composer of the 1920s. And this is what I like to call the Sweet Tooth medley, because both songs kind of deal with candy. It's Sugar and Sweet Man. Thank you so much. Thank you. So what is the song that Macio Pinkard wrote that nobody knows he wrote it, but everybody's familiar with the tune? Don't answer, Bill. I've got Bill Huffman sitting in the corner, and he knows all of these songs just as well as I do, and he always loves to shout it out and get the audience. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you the title. I'm just going to go right into it. This is Macio Pinkard's most popular song. I bet you recognize it immediately. Okay, maybe not immediately. There you have it, Sweet Georgia Brown. Now, I'll tell you that one thing that hasn't changed about pop music ever in this country, as long as, well, really music in general, as long as we've been writing about music, the main topic of conversation in these lyrics has been love. It's always been about love. So now, let's slow things down and do some great love songs, because I'm in a good mood today. The sun is shining. It's a good temperature. People are starting to get vaccinated. So let's do some happy songs here. Oh yeah, look at that. Some applause for the vaccinations. Okay. This is a piece written in 1930. It was introduced in the movie The Big Pond by a fellow who was known as the King of Love, Maurice Chevalier. It was written in 1930, Sammy Fain and Irving Cahall. You brought a new kind of love to me. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's really underrated. It's not played enough. You brought a new kind of love to me from 1930. Some of the best music ever written was written for those early sound film musicals, and we don't play those tunes enough. Okay, I'm gonna sing the next one, so I really need to lubricate the vocal cords here. So this next one is perhaps one of my favorite to sing from 1926. Its lyrics were written by a fellow named Lou Brown of De Silva Brown and Henderson fame. And these three guys were important because they wrote a lot of musicals in the 1920s, a lot of Broadway shows. Their most famous one was a show called Good News that was revived in the 70s. And something that is a signature in Mr. Lou Brown's style of lyric writing is that it tells a story. And I think that that's partly because he wrote for so many stage shows. So even though this tune, which is called I Just Want to Be Known as Susie's Feller, isn't from a show, it still tells a very full story, and the lyrics kind of create a character for the person who is singing the song. So anyway, here is I Just Want to Be Known as Susie's Feller from 1926. All the boys on the street say, ain't she cute, ain't she sweet, every time my Susie passes them by. Though the boys laugh at me and they ask her, who is he? I don't care, and here's the reason why. I don't cut no fancy capers to get my picture in the papers. Just want to be known as Susie's feller. I get a thrill when I hear 'em saying, say, who's got the sweetest watermelon? Nobody, no one but Susie's feller. I love to hear 'em say, look at those lips, and who kisses 'em? He kisses 'em. Oh, what eyes, blue as skies. Say, who does she roll 'em for? Having dough is not essential. Knowing her is my credential. Nobody, no one but Susie's feller. I don't care who I am, and I don't care where I am, just as long as Susie's there by my side. Some fine day, very soon, they will say, who's the groom? I don't care as long as she's the bride. Don't want to be a politician or a lawyer or physician, just want to be known as Susie's feller. I don't care how loud they're screaming or what language they are speaking, as long as they say I'm Susie's feller. I love to hear them say, look at those lips, and who kisses them? I kisses them. Oh, what hips, ain't they pips? Say, who does she shaking for? She's got charms, oh boy, you said it. Not much cash, but oh, what credit? Nobody, no one but Susie's feller. Thank you. I just want to be known as Susie's feller. I just absolutely love that piece. I love how kind of goofy some of these were. And also kind of how suggestive they were. Nowadays, pop tunes, they just kind of put everything right out there in the open, but they had to be kind of creative back in the day. And I appreciate that. I think it's very fun. So this next song is another one that Adam and I recorded on our upcoming album, Take Me to the Land of Jazz. Adam and I both like trains an awful gosh darn lot because trains are awesome. I highly recommend that you look up trains right now and see what wonderful things they are. And this is a tune from 1926 called My Cuties Do at 2 to 2 Today. And it was written by a fellow named Albert von Tilzer. Now, Albert von Tilzer, you may know as the man who wrote Take Me Out to the Ball Game, because he did write Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And what's fascinating about that is he wrote that song at such a young age, as such a young man, like just at the turn of the century. And it's probably one of the most enduring hits ever written because everybody in America knows how to sing it. It gets sung at every single baseball game. He basically wrote something bigger than Hamilton, which is an accomplishment. And I love this song so much because it shows that even though he was kind of towards the end of his career by the time he was writing My Cuties Do at 2 to 2, he still had a very relevant sound about him, and he was just a great composer. So here we go. My Cuties Do at 2 to 2. See if you can hear any similarities to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Don't actually. It's not like Take Me Out to the Ball Game at all. Hey there, taxi, do your stuff. I can't get there fast enough. Take me to that train from way out west. I'm just dancing in my shoes, 'cause I don't got time to lose. Got a date 1:58 with one that I love best. My cuties do at 222. She's coming through on a big choo-choo. She's been away for months, but I haven't cheated once. Stayed home nights, didn't dance, wasn't taking any chance. I didn't flirt, and though that hurt, I just couldn't do my cutie dirt. My days were blue, nights were black, but still I knew that she'd come back, 'cause I love her and she loves me. And say, don't say there ain't no Santa Claus. I know darn well there is, because my cuties do at 2 to 2 today. My cuties do at 2 to 2. She's coming through on a big choo-choo. She's been away for months, but I haven't cheated once. Stayed home nights, didn't dance. I wasn't taking any chance. I didn't flirt, and though that hurt, I just couldn't do my cutie dirt. My days were blue, nights were black, but still I knew that she'd come back, 'cause I love her and she loves me. And say, don't say there ain't no Santa Claus. I know darn well there is, because my cuties do at 2 to 2. Cuties do at 2 to 2 today. Thank you so much. My cuties do at 2 to 2, a train song. Make sure that whenever you're going to visit your significant others, you take the train. It's the safest way to get there. Okay. Now, in the first half, I sung Row, 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 which is a nice little song about boats. We're going to continue on this theme of boats, women, and rivers, and wooing in boats and rivers with a great tune written by Harry Woods. Now, Harry Woods, he wrote the song Try a Little Tenderness, which kind of is self-explanatory. It's a song about trying a little tenderness. He also wrote, oh, we ain't got got a barrel of money. Maybe we're ragged and funny, but we travel along, singing a song side by side. Oh, we don't know what's coming tomorrow. Maybe it's trouble and sorrow, but we travel the road, sharing the load side by side. Through all kinds of weather, what if the sky should fall? Just as long as we're together, it doesn't matter at all. When they've all had their quarrels and parted, we'll be the same as we started, just traveling along, singing a song side by side. So you would think that he had a very sunny disposition and a great outlook on life. Well, the fact is he didn't. He was known for his very hot temper and being an irascible person who also got into quite a few bar fights. My friend Todd Robbins loves to tell the story about the time Harry Woods got thrown out of a bar. And a guy sitting there asked the bartender, "Hey, who is that crazy man that just got thrown out?" And the bartender said, "That's Harry Woods, the man who wrote Try a Little Tenderness." So anyway, here is his tune from 1925, Paddlin' Madeline Home, which I think captures his more irascible, mischievous side. So Paddlin' Madeline Home, music and lyrics by Harry Woods, Once I Take a Drink. I promise it's just water. I love a girl named Madeline, I know she loves me too, 'cause every night the moon shines bright, we ride in her canoe. At evening on the river, I hear her father call, but she don't care and we don't care if we get back at all, 'cause when I'm paddling Madeline home, gee, when I'm paddling Madeline home, first we kiss for a while, and then when we are through, I paddle for 1 mile, then drift back for 2, then I keep paddling Madeline home, until I find a spot where we're alone. Oh, if she'd only say, throw your paddles away, paddling Madeline, sweet, sweet Madeline, paddling Madeline home. When I'm paddling Madeline home, gee, when I'm paddling Madeline home, first I drift with the tide, then I pull for the shore. I paddle for 1 mile, then drift back for 2, then I keep paddling Madeline home, until I find a spot where we're alone. Oh, she never says no, so I kiss her and go, paddling Madeline, sweet, sweet Madeline, paddling Madeline, paddling Madeline home. Woo-hoo. Paddling Madeline home. Thank you, thank you. Which features one of my favorite chord progressions ever created. It just keeps they just don't write them like that anymore, folks. Alrighty, so after that one, I think I'm going to slow it down a little bit. And see, not all love songs are happy. Sometimes they're a little bit sad. And I'm going to play my favorite sad song for you. This is a tune that, thanks to Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, everybody thinks is a buddy song, but it's not about buddies. In fact, it's about being quite lonely. It was written by Dave Dreyer, did the music for it, who actually composed the music for "I Just Want to Be Known as Susie's Feller." And the lyrics were by Billy Rose, who wrote a ton of songs from that period, including "Don't Bring Lulu," "Tonight You Belong to Me," and "It's Only a Paper Moon." Billy Rose is also well known for being married to Fanny Brice, the famous actress. So anyway, this is their tune from 1927, played in the unconventional sad way, "Me and My Shadow." Me and My Shadow. I think that that's what Dave Dreyer and Billy Rose had in mind when they were writing it. Nothing against playing it up tempo, though. It still sounds great playing it up tempo. Now, here's something I forgot to play on my little, forgot to put on my little cheat sheet here. This is a song that turned 100 years old last July, and it was kind of shocking to me that it turned so old. It's kind of weird thinking that some of this music is over 100 years old, because it's still quite relevant to me, and it was interesting kind of coming to terms with that. I never thought I'd see the day that this music would get so old, but nonetheless, here it is. This was famously recorded by Paul Whiteman the year that it was published. It's Whispering. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, that was kind of a love song. We had to go back to the love songs. But anyway, let's go back to kind of the quirky, not so love song. This is a funny piece from 1931 called My Canary Has Circles Under Its Eyes. If you can think of anything else that Ted Koehler, Eddie Pola, or Jack Golden wrote, please let me know. I haven't really been able to find anything by them. It seemed to be their biggest hit, and it wasn't really their biggest hit because, boy, is it difficult to find sheet music to this. It's also wasn't very widely recorded. There were a few records made of it, the most famous one being by Al Bowley over in England. So here is My Canary Has Circles Under His Eyes, a cautionary tale about modern society. Mr. Pressman, here's some news. You can print it if you choose, just to prove that times have changed a lot. Though it may sound strange to you, it is absolutely true. You can believe it or not. Since making whoopee became all the rage, it even got to the old bird cage, and my canary's got circles under his eyes. He used to whistle the prisoner's song, now he does snake hips the whole day long. My poor canary's got circles under his eyes. His only pals are the yellow lark and just a tiny sparrow, but I am scared when he's in the park. He leaves the straight and narrow. I raise this bird in a manner so strict, but I've a feeling I'm being tricked, 'cause my canary's got circles under his eyes. All this world is up to date, even children stay up late. Things are just not what they used to be. All this world is off its nut, going crazy, nothing but. Just take this earful from me. He has no girlfriends that I'm certain of, but he sings, what is this thing called love, since my canary's got circles under his eyes. Birds of a feather, the old story goes, but love is something that nobody knows, 'cause my canary's got circles under his eyes. Perhaps he's worried, the little lamb, he always looks so solemn. I wonder if he is in a jam, I'll look in Winchell's column. He's never cheerful, he never eyes cracks, he must be holding some Goldman Sachs, 'cause my canary's got circles under his eyes. Oh, I wonder what could be wrong. There you go. Thank you so much, everybody. My canary's got circles under his eyes. So, that about does it for the love song portion and the not so love song portion. Let's now go to a very interesting piece composed 1926 by Fred Rose and Charlie Harrison. It was most famously recorded by Doc Cook. It really needs no introduction because the title, you can imagine everything that you need to from the title. I just released this on piano roll format. I have a small company that makes player piano rolls. A fellow named Tim Baxter down in Georgia does our perforation for us, but I do all the recording and the editing. We released rolls of Adam Swanson, Vincent Johnson, and myself, and we hope to expand to more musicians of this genre, and we also hope to put out some contemporary pop tunes, because player pianos should always be playing contemporary music. That's what they were built for. They weren't just built for jazz, but of course we want to keep jazz on player piano rolls. But anyway, this is one that I released on Piano Roll. It's called Here Comes the Hot Tamale Man. Here comes the hot tamale man. Alrighty, folks. With that, we're just about the 44-minute mark. So let's end things with my theme song, I like to call it, because it's about something very important to me. It's a tune from 1928. It was written by Larry Shea and Joe Goodwin, and you're gonna recognize it after I play the verse. I saw a blind man, he was a kind man, helping a fellow along. One could not see, one could not walk, but they both were singing this song. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you bring on the rain, so stop your sighing. Be happy again, 'cause keep on smiling. 'Cause when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. Then you're smiling. There you go. All righty. That's it, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I guess, they're shuffling around here. I just want to thank Tri-State so much for having me. It just means so very much. Just thank you so much, friends. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in. We're glad you had a good time. We sure think you did, because we certainly did here too. One last couple set of reminders. Be sure to keep track. Look on the website to get news about our May 15th special one-time, unique, 1-hour live from New Orleans show with Bonu Gibson. And also, as we said before, we hope we can have a live audience on the lawn jazz picnic celebration on May 16th with Drew Nugent and the Midnight Society. We're looking forward to it. We hope we can pull it off. Thank you and good night.